believe in personality tests. I think that as human beings we are too biased to answer questions about ourselves subjectively, and indeed, if you asked me 3 months ago whether I struggled with social anxiety, I would just giggle at your face. I've never felt social anxiety. I always felt confident and just most of the time had a great time. 3 months ago I went to a 2-week program where they take a bunch of people aged 21 to 24 and take them to lecture and stuff. It was supposed to be fun. Then I felt it. That standing there not knowing what to do with your hands, that escaping to the bathroom, that pain of uncomfort of an embarrassing interaction. Lesson number 1, if you take anything from this video, is that the moment you feel this wave of uncomfort, this embarrassment, remind yourself that every single one around you feels the same way. It won't seem like that, it won't feel like that, but the fact is that people around you are just better at concealing. The problem many of us have is that there is a gap between who we are and who we actually think we are. This is me when I imagine myself before a party. I'm sharp, I'm rational, I tell amazing stories and introduce myself and enjoy a comfortable evening. What is my prediction lacking? Emotions. We are awful at predicting how we are going to feel. Suddenly we don't feel as confident when our emotions get into play. The problem I've experienced was that I tried to suppress and eliminate those emotions. I saw them like a fly that I just needed to catch, and then I'll be right back at being my perfect version once again. What I found out is that you just can't do it. That trying to catch this fly and eliminate it just makes it bigger and bigger and bigger. So I believe that step number 1 at improving socially is understanding that you are not that imaginary perfect version of yourself. And honestly, what I learned that I'm glad that I'm not. Our emotions and our flaws are the difference between us and the robotic version of ourselves. Can I have your number? So how do we improve? Everything in life comes with a price. The price of becoming better socially is the option for the scenario where the person in front of you doesn't like you, that he thinks you are dumb, or just worst case scenario ignores you. The uncomfort we feel before an interaction is this fear of rejection, that part inside of us that believe that we are unworthy and the justification it might get when we get rejected. Only way to tackle this problem is not a YouTube video, it's not a seminar, it's not a course, it's getting out there and talking to people. Step 1, you recognize the uncomfort, you call it with a name, and then when you are talking with people, you remind yourself that everybody feels this uncomfort and you remind yourself that you love it. The more you repeat this process, the more comfortable you feel with feeling uncomfortable. Willing you'll be to get embarrassed, and you'll just understand that you cannot get anything in life without the option of being embarrassed. Starting a YouTube channel is embarrassing. Building a new relationship is embarrassing. You basically have 2 options. You either try to get used to the fact that you might be embarrassed and that it doesn't really matter because you believe you are doing the right thing, or you can escape. And escaping is a slippery slope. What I realized after that program was that I've spent the entire year escaping. I locked myself in a room reading dozens of books with the excuse of becoming smarter and improving myself, when in fact it was basically an escape from the real world. I built myself an imaginary, flawless, perfect version of myself, and subconsciously all I tried to do was protecting that image of myself. Eventually you realize that you are not perfect, that nobody is perfect, that you are a dumb piece of shit, but you actually can improve and become amazing. That you actually can get to a point where your self-esteem is not defined by the perception of the person in front of you. Confidence is like a muscle. It's something you can build through repetition, and it's something that goes down if you just lock yourself in a room. If people would realize that building confidence is like going to the gym, they would improve. To one amazing conversation or relationship you've built worth so much more than 10 awkward interactions that didn't go your way. The problem with reading too many books is that it gives you an illusion of being more rational than you actually are. It makes you forget that the way we communicate today is not different from the way we communicated for the last 5,000 years. It just makes you feel more important and sophisticated than you actually are. And I'm not saying you go out there and just play yourself down. I just say you should embrace your stupidity and embrace the stupidity of your other members of the human species. So go out there, remind yourself that everyone feels the uncomfort you feel. Teach yourself to recognize and embrace this uncomfort, and see building confidence as a muscle that you can actually build towards where you want to be. Thank you so much for watching.